Welcome back, troglodytes, to Would You Rock or Not? We're going right in with another Fender Friday today with a continuation from this episode, the Fender Maverick. If you stay tuned all the way to the end of that video, you would have known there was a new challenger approaching, and today is the day we cover this one. This wacky Fender guitar actually goes by 3 different names. You have the Swinger, the Musiclander, as well as the Arrow. And it shares a very similar story as its Maverick brother. This was a model made strictly just to use up old parts from other failed guitars. In this case, the donor parts were from these guitars. The body from the Fender Bass 5, which was a very early 5-string bass, which... just look at this thing. No wonder it failed. It's got like the bottom goodness to like the other Fender flagship basses, but the top looks guitar portioned. So Babe Simone, the guy who was in charge of redesigning these bodies, decided to give it one of those old whoopity-woos to create another funky shape by essentially cutting off the bass portion of that instrument. The neck came from the Fender Mustang. They simply just gave it a and chopped off most of the headstock to get this. It's not exactly the most beautiful headstock, but it kind of goes with your weird offset body with extra carving out of it. But the headstock is the reason why a lot of people nicknamed it the Arrow. Because apparently the Swinger decal on the headstocks of these are very prone to falling off, so people would discover these years later and be like, well, what is this guitar? And they would just have to nickname it. But something else important to note is that these necks are short scale. They're not your traditional Fender 25.5 inch, or 24 inches for that matter. The bulk majority of these were actually using up the short scale 22.5 inch Mustang neck. So the Swinger is definitely not your average guitar. The pickups on these came from the MusicMaster, and the bridge came from the Duo Sonic. So in conclusion, the Swinger is a beautiful blend of 4 different instruments. They were only produced in 1969, and they were never mentioned in any of Fender's advertisements. This is simply a Fender representative came to your store and said, hey, you want to take these guitars off our hands? They're totally cool. Your customers will definitely buy them. And there were very few of these produced, estimated anywhere between like 200 to 600. So needless to say, these were not a commercial success by any means, and they're just kind of a mysterious part of Fender history that shows the frugality of CBS's new ownership over Fender and how they used up extra spared parts. Now personally, I kind of like this guitar. It's a little funky. I don't know if I would really want to pay the collectible value of these instruments because they seem to range anywhere from $2,500 all the way up to about $5,000. Even though I love the name and nicknames of this guitar, now that I've learned a little bit more about it, I think I would actually prefer a Maverick just because I think it's even crazier than this one. But one thing I do prefer for this one is it came in a multitude of colors. Here's a really sweet photo that shows you a bunch of them, but you can find them in Dakota Red, Black, Candy Apple Red, Olympic White, Sonic Blue, and Lake Placid Blue. So in my collector mentality, I want like one of each of those colors because that's the fun part of guitar collecting. So now that we've learned a little bit more about the Arrow, let's go ahead and hear how one sounds. The only question left, would you rock a Swinger or not? Leave your answer down in the comments section below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share the video with a friend who would enjoy it, and we will see you tomorrow on the next episode. Take care.